Hi, everybody. We are live. Really great to see you all here tonight. My name is Nicole Dennis, and very excited tonight to have the amazing Kat Abby Anick joining us very soon. So I wanted to share a little bit about Kat with you. So Kat is someone that I met. I met her last year when I did her course, Social Media Sales with Soul. So it was, really amazing to do this course. And what I loved about it is that Kat has actually come from online and digital and social marketing background. So she's had incredible experience. She's written for a number of really well-known blogs, Mamma Mia, one of the biggest ones in Australia, Kids Spot. She's been published on The Mighty with her writing, so she knows how to get her message out there. And she also works for Constance Hall, who is like a huge name in the blogging field, as her social media manager, as well as what I'm sure was a very tough job being the Facebook channel expert for the Australian Taxation Office, because that's not really an easy thing to put a good spin on, because nobody really gets that excited about tax, right? So what I really love about Kat is that she has been able to bring together all of this expertise in how to be an awesome online marketer and how to get your message out there and how to get exposure with network marketing. So Kat has experience in the network marketing industry. She's actually built her own network marketing business, as well as worked with 6- and 7-figure earners in other companies to show up and be authentic and really share from their heart their own personal unique message and how that fits into what they are doing in the network marketing space with whatever company that they're with. So I really love this, that it's bringing together like what I see. I've done a lot of study in online marketing and social media and things like that. And I really believe that Kat has been able to bring together the best of this and what experts recommend in this area with what it takes to be successful in network marketing, and has been able to marry the two together. So tonight, Kat is going to share some of that wisdom with us about what she has learned and how to create engagement online. And you will have an opportunity as well to do more work in depth with Kat, which I did last year, and it was great, and I learned so much. And a couple of months ago, I had the opportunity to spend an intensive weekend with Kat doing some things about social media and how to get out there online. And just one thing that Kat recommended on that weekend that I implemented, which was just one post. I actually had, 2 people become part of my team just from that one post that she taught us how to do. So pretty phenomenal results. So that's my introduction to Kat and why I think she's so awesome. So now we're going to hear from Kat's awesomeness. So over to you, Kat.
Thanks so much, Nicole. How amazing a weekend was that? I loved it so much, getting to spend time with such incredible leaders from the network marketing space, yourself included. So I'm so happy you're having me on to speak to people that you know about social media and how we can start using social media and communities and what we do in the community naturally to start and help you guys tap into that, move it onto the online space, to start showing up like you do offline, bringing that online to create consistently high value content and really create and generate some excitement, some social engagement, just like you're so good at doing offline when you're speaking to people without needing to be creative and knowing that sales will come in. You are so popular. I bet that
just a second, Kat. Justin is saying that he cannot hear you at all or see you.
No, couldn't hear a thing.
Okay, I can hear you, so that's interesting. Just one second. Technical glitches. See, even people that are supposedly really good at this stuff have technical glitches. So why can we not hear you, Kat?
So so you've introduced me onto the live.
Yeah.
Let's see what else you need.
Present to everyone. There we go.
No.
Can we hear her now?
Everybody. All right, we'll wait for confirmation from Justin that everybody can hear me.
Yeah. Perfect.
Yeah, we're good.
Hang on, Justin, can you hear Kat now? Just muffled, can't make out a word of Kat. Nicole, clear. Let me see.
Okay, how about this? If we get rid of the technology and I just talk at my computer.
Yeah, okay. He's texting me now. I can see he's texting me. No, but can see her now, but he can't hear you.
We're going to get all over this, people. All right.
Oh, Jane says that's better. She can hear you now. So Jane, I can hear her, but it's faint. That's better. So just testing, Kat. Testing.
Okay, yeah. Okay, testing. And I think this might be a computer thing rather than a technical thing on your end at all, Nicole, because I had a Zoom earlier today. Let's make sure.
Oh, sometimes Zoom does that. Sometimes Zoom, people, if you're using Zoom and they use something else, Zoom like steals your audio. It's really annoying.
Yeah. How's that? Can you hear me okay through this
I
one?
said it's still really soft. I can hear her, but barely, Justin says.
Okay, we're going to try.
We're just trying, bear with us. We are trying to get the technology working.
Do you know what I'm going to try? Now, it does mean I won't be able to hear you for a little bit, Nicole, but I have something quite glamorous and amazing we can try plugging in. You're just going to have to give me a thumbs up.
Okay, awesome. We're working on the sound. Kat is going to plug something in that is going to try and help her sound. I think my sound is really good, but Kat's is not so great. So we're working on it. We did do a test before we went live.
Yeah, we were hearing each other fine then, weren't we? It's been quite funny. How's that? Just give me a thumbs up if you can hear me, okay?
Yeah, can we hear now? Jane, can you hear now? I've got multiple people messaging me. Yes, it was better without headphones. Awesome.
Did you say yes, you can hear me okay?
Can you hear? Kat needs to talk louder. No, too soft. Better without the earphones. People are saying better without the earphones.
Okay, let's just pull it out. We're just going to do it this way, and I'm going to turn it right up, and let's just pull everything out.
Kat's just pulling everything out here. Hilarious.
Online is my jam. You give me some tech and I will go to water, but let's crack on the place I know how to rock.
I'm not getting any green lights coming on when you are doing that. Justin, can you hear her now? Yes, it was better without the headphones. Justin, can you hear Kat now? Testing, Kat.
Testing.
Just say yes or no, Justin. Don't type me a long message. He's running in this way now. That's not really.
That's okay. I can switch across to my laptop too. So let's
I've done too many comments. I can't comment anymore. You're way too loud because when we turn Kat up.
Yeah, Nicole will be booming. That's okay. Let me jump over this way.
And here was better. If we turn you up loud, we can hear you. But yeah, better without headphones. I still think there's a volume with a mic problem with Kat's volume.
How's that?
Kat's mic.
That's better.
That's why we have a backup laptop at all times. All right, here we go. Thank you so much for that. That was just wonderful, Nicole. And I know you guys can hear me now. I won't even check because this is my favorite trusty MacBook Pro that I love so dearly. So it was so amazing catching up with you at our social media workshop, and with you and all the other network marketing leaders we got to spend time with and go through all this social media strategy with. So yeah, that's totally correct. I was the social media director for a parenting influencer called Constance Hall, and I was the Facebook channel expert for Australian Taxation Office, and you summed it up really well. It's not an easy crowd to warm up, but we made it happen, and there's incredible communities there that we serve between tax agents and small businesses, big businesses, and we made it work. We made it happen, and we got some amazing engagement. So if I can do that with such a dry topic, imagine what I can do with an incredible product, or what I can teach you how to do as well. I just wanted to say thank you so much for showing up, guys. You're all wonderful, and I'm so grateful you've come on to learn this. And so I'm just going to let you know what I'll actually be going through to teach you tonight as well.
So I discussed this with Nicole and, you know, what she really felt you guys would benefit from the most. So this is what I've pulled together. By the end of this webinar, you'll know how to position yourself online. And look, this is regardless of how you niche out and what your communities are that you're passionate about, because we're all different. You'll know how to position yourself so people know, like, and trust you, which we know how important that is. And also how to attract your ideal customer to you with perfectly positioned content. So you're not wasting any time. You're not throwing random shots out in the dark and hoping something sticks. And I know that at times it can be really discouraging when you're producing a lot of content and it just feels like you're waiting for spin effects to roll past and crickets to chirp because you pour your heart and soul into something and nobody reads it and nobody likes it or shares it. You're like, what did I do wrong? I'm not going to tell you all the things you've done wrong because it's not about that. I'm going to show you how to move forward from here so that when you are producing this content, you're giving yourself a really good shot because, guys, it's not you, it's social media and it's algorithms and it's Facebook. And I'm going to show you how to overcome that with some super simple little hacks. So that's something else you'll take away from this webinar. And finally, here's the most important one: how to sell without being pushy, without being obnoxious, without being salesy. Just like Nicole is tonight, she's brought me on because I'm sharing an incredible product at the end, which is a course. She's done it herself. She fully backs it. And she knows that by having me show up and offer all this free, great value to you, at the end of the webinar, if you do want to, that's something you'll go on to look at. If not, you'll leave here having learned a huge amount of high value information. And you might even tell other people. You might even go, guys, like, I was on this incredible webinar with Nicole. She's really good at this stuff. You know, she's been learning it all, and connect you guys up. And there you go. So putting yourself out there in a way that's not pushy or obnoxious or salesy really is the gift that keeps on giving, I think. So do we have any questions so far or in the comments, or are people commenting around what they'd like to learn the most from those? We've got how to position yourself so people know, like, and trust you. If that's something, just type 1. If you're more interested in how to attract in your ideal customer in the first place using your content, just type 2. And if you're really after how to sell without being pushy and obnoxious and salesy, just type 3 in comments. And that way we'll know where I can really kind of pinpoint my time in. Can you see the comments there, Nicole? I don't have them open on this computer. Let me jump over and take a look.
We have some.
Oh, we've got some 1, 2, 3s. That's awesome. The conversation you have once connected. We've got lots of 2s actually. Okay. Will there be a replay or recording? Correct. There will be. It'll be available right on this link. So if you have to head off, you can come back later. Highly recommend you attend it live, though. It's pretty good. This is not the first time I've run this webinar, and it always gets incredibly good feedback for live attendees. So I think based on this, guys, I'm going to focus mainly on 2. Number 2, which is attracting your ideal customer, and also about how to position yourself so people know, like, and trust you. I think that's really important. So, guys, this is a hands-on webinar. I want you guys typing, and Nicole's going to be checking out comments, and she'll be relaying that back. This is really important, and this is why you guys have showed up live tonight. It's to actively learn, and part of learning is getting out a pen and paper or typing in and having that thought process really solidified into action, because that's how you're going to get results from this. Otherwise, we just call that inspiration, and then you leave and you go, that was nice, and then nothing happens. So let's make sure you've already invested this time, which I'm so grateful for. So just make sure you're leaving comments as well. So the first thing is, what's your magic power? So when I say what's your magic power, this will be different for everyone, right? You might be really good at maintaining your diet, you might be really good at fixing things and knowing when things are wrong with your body and identifying that, or overcoming adversity, or just being resilient in general. There are so many different things you could be. Let me give you some other examples and I'll jump over here. So when I say magic power, if you're trying to figure out what yours is, I'm going to give you mine, right? So, and then I'm sure Nicole can have a go at throwing hers at me, because I know we've done a similar exercise in the past. So your magic power, mine, I'm known for social media. I'm known for creating communities as well. That's something I'm passionate about, I'm good at. I love creating communities and moderating them effectively, so people know their boundaries as well, and I create safe spaces for people to show up that are really well moderated and regulated. My magic powers, marketing and branding for people who aren't fancy like superhumans or graphic designers, is just showing up and getting it done, and overcoming adversity to grow resilience is something that I'm very good at. I'm a special needs parent. I've got a little boy with Down syndrome. I'm a single mum. I've known bits and pieces of adversity, and I've always taken them as an opportunity to become more resilient, grow my personal skills, and just basically level up as a human wherever possible, even if it's just tiny levels at a time. That's what I love to do. So they're my superpowers. What would you say a couple of yours are, Nicole, your magic powers?
Oh, look, I think my magic powers is I'm like really able to look at the big picture of things, but make it really, really simple for people to understand. That's always a gift that I've had, is to take things that are complicated and really make it easy for a person to be able to get it and to be able to do things. So in this industry that we're in, I guess my superpower is to be able to really know where we can create things to make it easy for people to duplicate, right? Because this is all about duplicating while at the same time teaching people to shine their own uniqueness is in that duplication, because people really are attracted to you. That's why they come into this type of business. They are attracted to you, your personality and your uniqueness, but you also have to have a way that people can duplicate things but still bring their own uniqueness to the front. So I think that that's something that I've always done in my other previous careers, and that were quite different to this, and what I continue to bring to this field as well.
Yeah, that's amazing. That's so cool. And it's so true, like being able to break it down in a small way and verbalize that as well, like the verbaling. So as far as like personal branding goes and knowing what you're good at, it's a really safe thing to be able to just type this out into YouTube, or just be able to have a one-on-one conversation, or even just write it down for yourself and look at it. And it's totally safe to do so, even if you feel like you're just being salesy to yourself, or if it's not perfect. Because I have to tell you, in the last 2 years, my imperfect Facebook content has been seen and loved by millions and millions and millions of people. So content I've written has been in Vanity Fair, in The Independent, which is the largest Irish newspaper, in Daily Mail countless times, in a whole lot of places. And it's not perfect. Most of my content, I write about my little boy who's got Down syndrome. I'd be doing him a disservice if I churned out technically perfect images and amazing copy for articles. In fact, if you see that photo there, that you can't see it exactly, but it's actually my little boy when he won Baby Bonds. So he was the Bonds baby a couple of years ago. And part of the reason he won is I just wrote from the heart reasons why I thought people should vote for him, and that went viral. So I can tell you that knowing your why and why you show up and what you're good at and what you're passionate about is so, so, so important when positioning yourself so people know you, so they like you, and most of all, they trust you, because when that sincerity is there, it just shines through, and people see it over and over in your life, just like it's a theme. And the more you show up consistently, whether or not you're showing up every day, twice a week, 5 times a week, when you appear in a consistent way and people can relate to you, maybe your morals, maybe your values, maybe a community you have in common, they find themselves drawn into you. And it's the same reason why, whether or not you eat McDonald's, I don't judge, when you're on a really long road trip and there's like a McDonald's, and you're like, oh, if there's nothing else around, I'm just going to have to do it. And it's the worst thing for you, right? And last year, that's still what happened. I was on a road trip and I'm like, all right, I'm just going to get the kids some chips because I know what it is. It doesn't mean it's the most amazing thing on the market. It doesn't mean I can't get a $30, you know, custom hand-cut bag of fries down the road. It means that I know I can just drive in. I know I can just grab chips and my son will eat them. I know that they know it's a treat because we're on a holiday. I know I can drive away again. I know that they've got cards that I can swipe. So it's just showing up and showing people how you can relate to them in a way that's easy and convenient and kind of is like you, like you're their people pretty much. And the more you can weave that into your story and show people what you're known for, the more attractive you are. And that's what attraction marketing is all about. So you may not have a child with Down syndrome, but a lot of people might have related to me. You might know someone with Down syndrome, or you might know a parent of a child with a different disability, or you might find out on this webinar that I've got ADHD and you'll be like, oh, I've got ADHD. Oh, my mum has that. So it's just sharing those little things about you in a really sincere way for no reason other than just to relate and share stories about yourself. And it's okay to shine at things too. So somebody has commented, this is amazing. Her superpower is being a force for profound transformation, being an inspiration of fearlessness, being supportive through adversity. She taught in war zones and refugee camps. That's awesome. Far out. You know your why. That's an incredible superpower. So there's one for your to-do list is work on what your magic power is personally. Like, what do you want to be known for being good at? And we'll talk more about the product later, but right now we're just talking about you and how you show up online. A lot of people don't know that I have a child with a disability. They don't know that I was the social media director for the largest pairing influencer in Australia. They don't know that I was the Facebook channel expert for the tax office. Some of my friends, all they know about me is that I've got a social media course. And that I can help them. Other people, all they know about me is that I have ADHD because they've seen me comment on that online. Other people, all they know about me is that I really like wearing Lululemon leggings. I'm not kidding. I might have met them in a Lululemon buy, swap, sell group and they're like, oh, that's that Lululemon girl that buys all the leggings. You never know what people will relate to you on, but never be scared to show people who you are.
And it's also being like vulnerable too, right, Kat? You don't just have to show people all the great things. Like people don't like relate to someone's life who looks perfect all the time. They want to see, you know, today I like was having a challenge with this, and do you have a challenge with that too? It's like being real when you show up. Like, hence we're not here with like lots of makeup on. Look at me and Kat.
Exactly. We don't need to show up as our absolute best selves to serve you guys super high value content. We can have dinner with our little ones and then jump on a webinar and deliver all that awesomeness in your inbox. And, you know, everyone will still relate, will be more relatable than anything. I don't follow people that feel out of reach to me. And do you?
No, I don't. I like find it kind of really off-putting people that like look perfect all the time, and like every time they do a Facebook Live, they've like got blow-dried hair, and like it's just like who lives their life like that? Really, like who has time to look after their family and like blow-dry their hair every day and like do that? It's just not realistic.
Yeah, totally true. And guys, when you watch this is what I want you to remember as well, is that you're watching this webinar because you trust the information you're receiving is good. And that's beautiful. Someone commented saying this is more beautiful anyway. Thank you. Just remember this moment when you go to show up and you're having technical difficulties on your webinar. And it's funny because Nicole and I said just before the webinar, I wonder if people realised how often people are scrambling behind the scenes at last minute to fix technical stuff so they can go live. And we were both like, nah, nobody quite gets it. But, you know, it's what happens. And this is how people want you to show up as well. They don't want to feel intimidated by you. They don't want to feel as though what you do is out of reach for them. Do you want people to build businesses with you and grow a brand and be part of your team in your community? Stay approachable. Like, look banging in your profile picture. Go get all those photo shoots, but be relatable and be accessible when you're showing up in your day-to-day broadcast type stuff. So what we're going to talk about now, we've talked about our magic power, is how to position yourself using that. So who else have we got here? Be approachable and real people. So true. Now we think about, what do we stand for? So write down magic power, and if you haven't figured yours out, jot down the first thing that comes in your head. It doesn't matter if it's silly. What are you, a mum? Is your magic power just being an awesome mum or an awesome wife or husband or partner or whatever that means to you? Or is there a relationship in your life you're proud of? Do you like a certain thing? Do you have a great hobby? Write it down now. And now we're going to talk about, what do you stand for? So maybe you stand for positive, healthy lifestyle choices. Maybe you stand for looking for holistic options first before reaching for chemicals. Maybe you are passionate about people trying alternative medicine to heal themselves before going to a conventional GP for stuff that's not, you know, medically critical. Whatever it is, what do you stand for? So for me personally, I stand for encouraging people who don't have someone in their life that's marginalised or has a disability or a difference, encouraging those people to start advocating for others within their community to lift up everyone together. I find it's really important to enable everyone to have a voice, not just people who are marginalised or a minority or have a physical difference, because they get tired and they shouldn't have to be shouting from the rooftops. So for me, it's important to do things like make sure my son wins the biggest Australian modelling competition going, because why not? I can. It's my superpower, right? It's my magic power. I'm going to use it to do what I stand for. So what's yours? What's something you stand for, Nicole? Oh, you're muted, lovely.
So I wouldn't get feedback. I really stand for like people having access to things so they can live their best life ever. You know, I was someone who suffered with like chronic health challenges for a long time, and I want to have a stand for other people not suffering like that, so they could show up and be the best person that they can for their family, for the people that they love, and to make a contribution to humanity at large as well. Because if you don't feel good, you can't do that.
I love that. That's amazing. That's so good. Amazing. Mm-hmm. So like, why are we asking these questions? And I'm going to get to that in a minute. I'm going to tell you exactly why I want you to answer these 3 questions. So keep typing it out. That's awesome. I stand for creating a happier, healthier, and more prosperous world, finding simple solutions to seemingly complex problems. That's an amazing magic power. Passion, healthy aging. I think you have the ultimate magic power right there. The ability to allow people to achieve their goals through the aquatic industry. OMG, no wonder I meet you, Nicole and Justin. I stand for everyone deserves to live the happiest and healthiest life they are meant to have. Be, have, do. Okay, I love that. Now, let's get down in the nitty-gritty, because do you know what we have to do to stand in a community and create a true community? We need to know what we're not into. We need to know what we stand against. So I want you to think about your magic power. I want you to think about what you stand for. And just in a few words, now we don't call out people when we do this, because it's not what it's about. What mindsets are we against? What opinions are we against? What do we not stand for? What do we advocate against? What do we not want to see in our idea of a perfect world? So it might be packaged or processed foods. It might be chemicals being used in the home. It might be certain types of beliefs people cling to, like negativity, scarcity mindset, playing small, not living their best selves, or you know, becoming who you know they can be, but they're playing too small. You shouldn't stand against an individual all the time. It's an incredibly negative way to build a brand. So you might know like a super salesy business coach, right? And it might totally trigger you. You might prefer to work with people who are similar to you, and they sell through abundance and flow and attracting people into their community. However, you would position yourself against the belief that you need to sell, sell, sell all the time, everywhere on the internet to position yourself. Stand against that belief. Don't stand against an individual, because that can become really damaging in its own way when you're targeting. So we've got people projecting their own suffering onto others. Amazing, amazing. I'd love to see more people calling that out. Non-communication, lack of communication, lack of understanding. I want people to be aware that the alternative to sickness care is prevention. Amazing, so good. So why are we doing this? Why is it so important to get clear on what you want your position to be? Because this is what you'll use at your core. So what might surprise you is the key to getting engagement online and showing up and building your community and making sales isn't having the perfect landing page. And it's not having a really big email list. And it's certainly not having fancy tech equipment, because my setup's worth about $5,000. And look what just happened. It's certainly not about using fancy tech equipment, because the same malfunctions are going to happen. It's about mindset, and it's about knowing who we are, because in those times of doubt, when we're like, am I going to post today? I don't know what to write about. What can I write about? You can come back and you can revisit this and go, do you know what? I know I might not be in the mood to post a big, happy, positive thing, but I know what I stand against, and I'm not afraid to advocate for that, and I'm not afraid to talk about it, because I'm supported by my community and I know where to post and I know what to say, and you just go forth and you do that. And it's not about creating controversy. It's about attracting people who are like you, because people want a leader. That's what they crave. They want someone who will stand up and go, this isn't right and this is my opinion. And they will happily get behind you and back that, because that's what you're growing as a community. And it's just this beautiful rolling snowball where the bigger your community, the bigger change you get to make in the world. And that's what we all want.
We want to attract our tribes. We all are unique, and people will be attracted to our uniqueness. And I think people have a fear of that, and they're like, well, what if people don't like me? Guess what? If they don't like you, block and delete them. It's really simple. They don't have to listen to you if they don't like what you have to say, because there's plenty of people that are looking for a leader that has your values and that your uniqueness. And that's what you've got to show up as, not as something that's going to please every person on the planet, because that's, it's be yourself. Really, really important.
100%. And do you know what the good news is? The good news is that actually most of your competitors are not doing this. They're not doing this at all, because what they're doing is they're busy thinking about their position in the marketplace, and they don't want to lose any followers here and there. They don't want to rock any boats. They're doing 90% posts about buying the product, maybe a little bit of educating here and there, a couple of snaps of a car or a house or a beach when they go on holidays. But most of it is just sell, 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 sell. And do you know what? You would be surprised at how many people look like they're successful online, but they've built, because they're not honest like Nicole and Justin are, a lot of them have built their business predominantly offline. Whereas Nicole and Justin have brought in all those, they've done so much work offline, and they're proud of that, and they're bringing that in, and they've built this beautiful community, and they've created so many resources that they continue to do. And, I was in a workshop with, I think we had 13 people there that I ran with the co-founder of my social media course. And the only person, every time I talked about a product, Kat, have you tried this one? It's really good. Have you used this program? I'm like, how do you know all this stuff, Nicole? She knows it because she does the groundwork, and she's not there. She's behind the scenes making sure that what she uses is going to work, and she does the coursework and does the groundwork so that when she is showing up, she knows what to do once it happens, and she knows good community management. When do I block? When do I delete? What can I say where? Paul, I always rock the boat. Maybe need to back that off a bit. It can be good for marketing. But
We have a question here as well. Do you do this on your personal Facebook page or create a fan page or group? Which is a great question.
That is a super awesome question. For that one, let me get out. Come into my fancy office. Here we go. So let's talk about when we have a page, when we have a group.
It's a great question because we utilize these, like I utilize my personal page, I have a fan page, and I really utilize groups a lot as a leader for my team. So yeah. I do utilize all of those things. So I think the question is that you use them all in different ways.
Totally. But what we're going to talk about is the difference between attracting people in and knowing what to do with them next. So I'm going to go, so I actually own a marketing agency. I'm a leader in a network marketing company, and I have a social media marketing agency, amongst other things. So this is all about lead generation and why we show up where we do and for what purpose. And it just really expands your mind instead of, what you might be doing right now, other options for you. So when we're looking at getting a contact, like finding someone that we can have a conversation with, a lot of the time we're like, oh God, I've got this person that's messaged me. Oh God, are they going to buy the product? Because now what am I going to say? Because am I going to sell it to them, or am I going to do a sample if I do samples, or am I going to send them a link for more information? I don't really know. How do I know when to just get them to enroll and buy, or what do I do from here? Is that relevant to you guys? Do you often actually get on that spot and go, I don't know where to go? Do I get in a three-way conversation with my upline? Can we talk about the conversation we can have online that leads us to introduce our technology? Yes, we can, Alison. Gold star for you. Now, this will come down to you and how you personally communicate, but this is what I'm going to show you. This is how leads come in. Let me make it so you can actually see what I'm doing. So that's there, that's there. That means that should be writing. I'm not going to be able to tell from an A and a T.
Yes.
All right. Lucky I'm left-handed. I hope we're all appreciating this right now. Okay, so that's attraction, yes. I get points for that. My gosh.
Traction, yeah, we can see it. A little blurry, but it's good.
Amazing. Okay. Here's my personal Facebook profile, right? Here's one way that I generate leads. I just do a post. Have you guys tried my product? That's it. And then comment yes or no. Comment below if you haven't tried my product before. And 20 people comment because I've got 3,000 friends. And then I inbox them.
Justin's saying it's backwards. It's funny watching though. Attraction is written backwards.
It's a great way for me. You get an A for noticing, Justin. Smile, big crazy smile. Here's my page with my witch's hat on my head, attraction. Here's my personal profile, right? Another way I do it, and you'll learn more about this in my social media course if you go on to do that, is that I generate leads using my Facebook page. So sometimes I'll boost really high performing posts to get more leads, to give people samples, or I'll send them an ebook that they can learn more information, or I'll just have them watch a video. And then the people who watch that video, I'll retarget them with an ad for something else that performs really well. Next minute, they know, like, and trust me because it's relating to them, right?
And this is about people, it takes a lot of touches. So you probably would have heard this, right? That 80% of sales are made on the 5th to the 12th contact. So basically social media is no different. It's you're teaching a way through the posting and the boosting and then retargeting with the ads, right, Kat, that they are having multiple touches of you before they're ready to actually engage with you and buy something.
Correct. So I enrolled 3 people this week in my company. The most latest, which was, what's today, Monday, so it was on Friday. She bought $400 worth of product, and when I scroll back through the chat history on my Facebook page, she had messaged me off a post in October last year. I had sampled her with my product in January because I was really lazy and forgot. I followed her up in February because I was really lazy and forgot. She moved house. She got back in contact with me. I followed her up in like March or April. She ignored it. I did a post on my page offering people samples. I boosted it to people who had previously watched my videos. She saw it, went in our chat history, saw the enrollment link, clicked and bought a $400 product or $400 worth of product. So that was from October last year. Guys, I started building my business in October last year. That is a long lead time. And I can tell you what, I would not have followed her up that many times if I had to get on the phone or text her. I just wouldn't. Absolutely. But she saw my content herself. I couldn't tell you who she was off the top of my head if pushed. I couldn't remember her to write her on a manual list to follow up. But every time she dropped back in my inbox, I'm like, oh, I remember you. You're the lady. So I got that lead from my Facebook page, right? So that's another really good way. You can use Instagram to generate leads and get clicks on your website or get DMs. If you use it, don't focus on platforms you don't naturally use yourself. You can meet people in real life at events. You can meet people in Ubers. Can I tell you how many people I enroll in Ubers? It's not even funny.
Could get expensive Ubering around all day though, right?
Yeah. So what would you naturally think of doing with all these people? Because I know what I thought I should be doing when I started. I should be selling them all products, right?
No, it's too early, right?
Why are you too early? They don't even know me. They don't like me. Why would they trust me?
Why would they give you money?
Why would they give me money? Why wouldn't they go on the website and enroll with the actual company? Why would they trust a random person? So here, so this is the attraction side. And then here is your nurturing. Can't spell tonight. Nurturing. Yeah, I can. Look at that. It's phenomenal. So what this does, the more options you have, the more it empowers you to know what to do with your crazy big emojis of contacts and leads and conversations that are all over the shop. Because instead of trying to sell to them, you're thinking while you talk, am I going to send them, am I going to get the number? Does anyone remember what this is? Do you remember those? It's a telephone. Do you remember those?
Nobody has one of those in their house anymore. They only have mobiles.
No, there'll be one in the museum. You might get their phone number. You might post them a sample. You might add them as a Facebook friend. You might put them in your Facebook group.
Mm-hmm.
You might schedule a follow-up phone call on your old school Nokia from the looks of it. You might schedule a phone call. But now that you know that you don't need to freak out and instantly enroll them, you start turning this attraction into nurturing. And here is up to your upline what they want you to do. It might be visit a certain page with an educational video. It might be, because I'm pretty sure that's what you have, Nicole. You've got an amazing video that people can use. Whatever it is, along the way, you get to touch base and choose one of those things. So, for example, for me, I might send someone samples, and I've watched my mum go through many network marketing companies over her 40 years. She loves a good community with coffee. So she might have sent people samples, and then she wouldn't have a Facebook group, but she'd go around and visit them. And they'd be like, oh, I can't really afford it yet. And she'd go, no worries, I'll call you in 2 weeks. And she always would, because she was many things, including consistent. And she's already sampled them, so she would be grumbling, oh, they're not getting any more of my amazing Avon product. So she would just maybe, she wouldn't text them, but she might pop past on her walk and say hello or whatever it might be. So even back in the day, people nurtured and nurtured and nurtured. So now instead of only doing that in real life, welcome to 2018, because your world just exploded. And here's some more cool stuff that you get to do. You get to get their email address and add them to a sequence that educates them about you, not your product, you, what you stand for, what you're for and against, all that amazing stuff.
And this is where you really get to bring yourself in and attract your tribe, which will be slightly different or even a lot different for every single person that's sitting on this call.
100%. And that's why it's so important to establish what your magic source is, what you're for, what you stand against, because that's how you're calling your people. And that's why they'll know you. That's why they'll like you. And when you call out things that you are not placed for, they will trust you because they see that you're all on the same side. And then when you're attracting these people, they're a genuine part of your community. It's not as clinical. I'm clinical because I work in marketing, right? But I use it for good, not evil. So you add them to your email list, and everyone in my team, they get emails from me quite regularly, and they're not just like, you know, oh, here's products and specials and offers and blah. It's my backstory. It's, you know, a really amazing coaching call I had with someone that I've shared and they've agreed to, like, without their name, or it's like something inspirational to keep them going, whatever it is. I share that in emails, and if I get a really good reaction, I just tag it. I pop it in an automated sequence. So a builder in 2 years from now is going to have that same beautiful experience that I had with my one-to-one coaching, and it's just all my content, that awesome stuff, all that effort you're putting into your business. It just keeps giving. It's just the gift that keeps giving to people you haven't even met yet. And that's why learning this stuff once and starting to leverage it is so, so powerful. Or you'll add them to a Facebook group where you've created some really incredible content and you can go and tag them in it, which is much like what you've got, Nick, and this is all the stuff that you already do. A group is such an amazing resource. But in answer to your question, because this is the longest response ever, I just think it's really important to see the difference between attraction, nurturing, and asking for a sale. They're all different things. And the fortune is in the follow-up, as they say. So how to make sales without being sleazy, keeping it filled with soul, attract your tribe, nurture them, and just keep following up, because honestly, they'll start asking you and they'll get curious. And then all it is just, it's just reminding them. It stops being that whole icky asking, and it's like, hey, just checking in, how's everything going? And, you know, and however your one-to-one sales work, they'll go from there. But in a lot of cases, the 3 enrollments I had this week, they enrolled themselves online. I spoke to one who messaged me to ask me if the link still worked to enroll.
That's awesome. People like that. Drop a 1 if you would like that to be happening in your business. Drop a 1.
I must say it's very awesome, and that was as the result of a 2-day marketing blitz I did. And this is something I teach in my social media course. It's how you just look like you're everywhere. They cannot escape you. You're showing up in their newsfeed, and even better, you're showing up in the right newsfeeds. You're not showing up in all these other people's worlds. What if they don't reply or respond? Would you still keep following up? The beauty of it is I don't have to follow up very often, because when they contact me, they're already interested. So I'm not following up. I'm just checking in. Hey, how you going? How did that thing work with you and your family? Because a really important question to me is, let me know what the wellness needs are in your household at the moment. How's everything going? Do you have any concerns that you feel that my product could support you with? And when they do open up and share, I've got no doubt Nicole's got some epic scripts for that that'll relate directly to your product, because I know this product myself as well. But basically how the conversation will work online, once you've attracted them in, just make sure you're putting call to actions and know where they're going to go. Click here to download my ebook and you'll be on my email list, and I'll send you lots of cool stuff. Click here to join my Facebook group. If any of what I said resonated with you or interested you, just send me just comment below and I'll send you a private message with some more info on how you can get started. If you like the sound of what I was talking about on this live stream, click the link to my website in comments. I've just popped in the link to a blog post where you can read more. So when they are taking the action themselves in the affirmative, as soon as they engage with your page, they'll be back to engage because they're seeing you in their newsfeed, which is why these call to actions are so, so valuable. It stops the chasing and the running and getting tired and seeing crickets and spin effects and just feeling like you're shouting out everywhere. And slowly and strategically, once you learn these little tweaks, people will start coming to you. And so it changes the conversation around, I need to sell this person in this message, to have I added enough value to them? Have I given them so much value that they know that this product is for me? Because a lot of the time you can just start asking that. Is there any other information I need to give you in order for you to know that this product's a good fit for your family? Like that right there is extremely powerful when they've seen you that many times in your newsfeed. And that's part of the selling with soul as well, is just being sincere and genuine. What else, what do you need from me to establish that it's a good fit? Because if it's not a good fit, we don't want them to buy it, but we know it's probably going to be a good fit for most of them, don't we? Amazing. Okay, so that's covering off. Do you feel, just write yes in comments if you feel that this has covered off what to do to get people to know, like, and trust you. Are you confident that you're going to leave this webinar today and be able to implement 1 or 2 simple things so that people can get to know you better online? Feel like you've learned something where you'll be able to show up more and talk about things that you're passionate about. Amazing. Alina says yes. Justin says yes, presumably from another room. Pan, Jen, Marie. Amazing. So cool, guys. Simon.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. So let's talk about, because we really covered off a lot of attraction stuff there as well.
Yeah, and this is what I love about this. And, you know, what I've learned from working with Kat is you go out and do attraction marketing, you know, and it's no secret that Justin and I really built our business the old school way, offline. And this is like something where I see real potential for leverage for us, like having to travel less, you know, now that we have a daughter, we don't want to be away from home as much. Is that it takes the whole competition out of it when you're doing attraction marketing, because people are attracted to you and they're not going to be attracted to, you know, necessarily Joe Smith because he's like different to you, but he'll have his own people that are attracted to him, which is great. So it's like you're not competing with anyone. It's like about you putting yourself out there and attracting your tribe that resonates with you and that really wants to work with you, and that just makes everything a lot more easeful and graceful and joyful.
Yeah, 100%. I found it really funny, actually. I had an act, so I've got a lot of people under me in my business. I've got a lot of people under me that are actively growing businesses. Because I do attraction marketing and I'm not chasing enrollments all the time, I actually find a lot of business builders come to me because I probably miss out on some of the customers. But I don't mind because I don't work much. So I'm fine with that. If I was more proactive with it, I would make a lot more money, but I don't follow up my leads as well as I should. I'm all about the attraction and the marketing, and I'm getting better at the follow-up because, like I said, the person who enrolled with me last week online, it took me since October to actually get it together to close them. Mm-hmm. I can get better at selling in person, that's no worries, but I don't need to be a good salesperson because they come to me anyway. So I'm fine with that. And as I learn, I'll rank higher and higher and higher. So I do something with my son, right? It's super cute, super basic. I set up a $10 tripod. I put it on my kitchen table and we live stream making Play-Doh. And I used to do it every week. And it was the total favorite. And that's how I eased myself into live streaming tutorials about how to make things. And I was like, okay, well, I'm going to make something else. I'm going to do like crafty things. So I did my crafty thing with my product, and I had someone message me and say, hey, can we have a conversation? Because I never thought I could build a business until I watched that live stream where you had no idea what you were doing and you persevered and you pulled off making that craft, and I don't know how you did it. And do you know what? If you can build a business, so can I. Sign me up. And she now enrolls 4% of the people she attracts in her group with wholesale accounts in our company. 4% cold enrollments off running Facebook ads. She's a professional copywriter by trade. She used to work in marketing. She's got a chronic health condition that means she can't. Our product has helped her. She sells it. Game over. And I got that enrollment, and she trusted me with her time and her passion and her energy because I showed up and tried to make some shitty craft on a live stream. So, you know, that's what will start to happen. She's so similar to me. She's got a child with special needs. So I started to attract people like me into my tribe. And as soon as she found me relatable, that was enough of a pain point to go, bring it in.
Yeah.
So someone said really too broad, would like to dig in deeper. So absolutely, if you want to write a hyper-specific question about, so you've said explain how that conversation works online. So if you give me an entire scenario, I'm more than happy to give you some suggestions for actual scripts, because I know how really helpful they can be. I'm similar, wherein I've got a strategy brain where I'm teaching, but I'm hyper practical when I'm learning. I want word for word so I can pick it apart and decide which bits to keep. So if that's you, that's absolutely okay. Just write out like a scenario and I will give you some ideas that you can throw around, because I know that everyone else will benefit a lot from that as well. So while you type up that, I'm going to share something with all of you. This is probably one of the most powerful sentences in Persuasion, and this is what guides your efforts to attract your ideal customer with that perfectly positioned content. This will help you bond with your audience, and it's going to help you build a true tribe and fan base. Okay, are you ready? It's a good one. People will do anything for those who encourage their dreams, justify their failures, allay their fears, confirm their suspicions, and help them throw rocks at their enemies. Does that make sense? Because that, and I'll just read bits of it again and explain why. So this is something by a guy called Blair Warren, who's one of the world's best marketers. Encourage their dreams. These are their desires and what they want. They want to see that. They want to see that other people have the same dreams and passions as them. Justify their failures. Maybe they've tried it before and failed. It's okay, because they need that encouragement to keep going. Allay their fears. Talk about what keeps them up at night. You want them writing "me too" in comments. That's your goal. Confirm their suspicions and help them throw rocks at their enemies, what they're against. So I actually just tried to copy paste from a laptop to a MacBook because I'm that clever.
I just got it from Google, the quote.
Amazing. Okay, you're going to chuck that in comments because you've done it. You're so fast. There you go. So make that your main takeaway. Make it your phone screensaver. And literally, do you know what I do when I post and I can't think of something? I get that quote out and I choose one. I'm like, who am I going to throw rocks at today? You know, what suspicions can I confirm for my community? Because, you know, there are so many. I've got a couple of different communities. I've got a few different Facebook pages. I do the social media for a page that has over 1 million followers in a niche community. And there's many opportunities there for me to come up with amazing content. So I have to kind of make sure that it's going to be on point. And I have to talk to someone, you know. You can't just talk to 1 million people. You would get really tired. So I just talk to one person, and I'm going to talk about what that looks like. So we're magnetically drawn to people who are just like us. When you attract the people you want, it's going to repel the people that you don't want. So think of your avatar as a real person, and your avatar is this one person that you're speaking to. Who are they? So you know what your magic power is, or you've thought of something for the purpose of this exercise. You know what you stand for. You know what you stand against. You want to attract people like you. Is that correct?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So you want to attract people like you. Let's find your new online bestie who might not quite exist yet, and let's start manifesting them. Who's your avatar? What sex are they? Are they a boy or a girl? Write it in comments. Next, so mine's female. I'm going to chuck it in. What age are they? Literally choose an age. My age is 34. That's not my age, but it's close to my ideal age, because that coincidentally is the age of a lot of my business builders. Marital status is married. Kids, they normally have 2 to 3, but we need to be hyper specific. Yes, they are. There are people like you, I promise. So I'm going to say 2 kids, because I don't want them too busy. I just want them busy enough, but still a chance to use the internet. women with 3 or men with 3 kids or more out there, you guys are killing it. I would not deal. So definitely not like me. I've got 2 and a big age gap. Then again, some people might say that my family is too crazy. Who knows? So kids, yes, interests and passions. So I love people who are freelancers. They want to serve others. They have active communities that they're part of already. I love that. Where do they live? They live regionally. I don't know why I don't want them to, but that's where they are and I know it, so I've got to write it. They spend a lot of time online and they have to travel to really network, and they're really well placed to build businesses online as well. Get really specific about, okay, cool, the responses from your Facebook ad is 35 to 70. So you can even narrow that down further, Paul, because 25 to 44 are the most engaged people online who buy. They're mostly predominantly female. So you could make your age between 35 and 44 because that's probably your most captive market potentially, unless your product is specific for over 44s. Then you would separate it off into 44 plus. Amazing. Guys want to do meaningful things in their retirement. Live at the beach, want a great income without having to be in the city, health, good food, self-employed, want to leave a legacy. That's beautiful. Okay, so now you know we're talking about this avatar, right? What's their value system? So what do they want more than anything? And this one is so easy for me to type. Good health for themselves and their children. Number 1, all they want is them and their children to be healthy and safe. Whether or not they have a disability, whether or not they have a medical condition, they want their child and themselves to be as healthy and happy as possible. Everybody in my team, that's what they want. Now, what do they stand against? They stand against employers. They hate being bullied in the workplace, bullying in the workplace, because unfortunately, with my ideal client, with my ideal, new people to business, that's happened to them because it happened to me. So I've attracted people similar to that. They hate bullying in the workplace. They hate domineering, standoffish people. Get specific. Don't say names. My avatar is Chloe. She's 45. She's tired of feeling exhausted and having sleepless nights. She's up feeling bloated with stomach pain. She's stressed. She's got emotional ups and downs. You guys rock. Okay, cool. So what does this person really want? We've talked about what they're for, what their value system is. What do they really want a solution for more than anything? And this is your chance to get hyper specific. And Madison's just done it. She wants relief from her emotional ups and downs. She wants to learn to regulate emotionally. She's stressed. She wants relief from the stress. She wants better gut health. She doesn't want to be experiencing stomach pain. That's how it's specific. Sorry, I've got one of my clients messaging me. That's how specific you... Let me mute that. That is how specific you need to get in this conversation, guys. So even if you're not doing that right now, save that for later and ask those really important questions. And I'm going to post them for you. I'm just going to pop them in comments if I can. Nicole, I'm just going to pop it in Google Hangouts. If you're able to switch it across, that would be amazing because it's on my own computer. So there you go. Off meds after 3 weeks. It's incredible. Do you know what? For a lot of people, they just want to be off medication. And there's nothing wrong with that being your one and only outcome for your ideal avatar. If they want to get off their meds, cool, because it's your avatar. You can have them do whatever you like. So now what do we do with that? You need to have a think about, take your avatar and think about how you can encourage their dreams. How can you justify their failures and show them that it's okay that they've tried before? It's safe for them to try again. How can you allay their fears and help them sleep at night? How can you confirm there are suspicions of what they know to be true but they've never had proven? How can you help them throw rocks at their enemies and show them that you're against the thing that they're against too and that you're a safe refuge for them? Because when you've figured out those things, that's how you build true influence, because that's what builds trust and respect and all those amazing things that Nicole stands for and Justin stands for. And I'm sure you guys do too as I get to know you. Yeah, that's awesome. That is incredible. Okay, so do you guys have any more questions about that stuff? How are you going with it, Nicole? Have you got anything you want to add to this section? Because I know that we've been over this previously, and this is something that you've talked about before too.
Yeah, look, I think this is really important for people. I know a lot of people on the call really haven't haven't really got involved in building their business online. And these are really important tips. Like, you have to show up and be authentic and show yourself. Like, it's no different. Like, in person at a coffee shop, you can show yourself and you can like have that connection with people. And online, you have to show yourself. You have to be vulnerable. You have to expose yourself, and your dreams and your hopes and your fears and what you don't like about the world, and that's going to attract your people to you. So it's no different. It's the way to pique interest and build that relationship. And that's not just showing up and throwing up about your product like online. It's about showing up about yourself and you and what you're passionate about. And then, of course, the products that we work with are part of that, but it's not just talking about that all the time and building that community. So I think that's, it's a really powerful way to expand what you're doing. Absolutely. And that's what I love about it.
Yeah, so true. So true, Nicole. So let's get to the last one, which is how to sell. Without being pushy, without being obnoxious, without being salesy. So Alina said, when you're writing, creating posts, etc., do you write as though you're directing to your avatar? 100%, 100%. So when I'm writing posts, I've written posts that are literally called, like, Dear Woman, like, I hear you, I see you because I am you. And I've like written out their story. I'm like, you might have been sitting at your desk and your boss comes over and he sees the project that you've been working on late at night just to impress him, and he says, it's amazing, but we can't use this because it's too innovative, it's pushing the fold, and that's not what our company's about. If stuff like that's happened to you, do you know what? Like, this is what happened to me. I was the one at work bringing everyone together, drawing them into a community and creating that safe, uplifting space, and I got nothing extra. I got no extra wages over the other people. So like, when I show up and talk about that stuff online, those annoying people at work, those ones that bring cupcakes, that's me. I'm that person at work, right? So I attract people like me because I tell them my story as though it is them. And then I'm like, guess what? That's all me. And they're like, ah. So that's a super, super easy way to tell a story and attract your avatar. Tell your own stories and say, I bet that's like you too. Because do you know what? You'll have people commenting going, oh my God, are you in my head? Wow, I never thought about it that way. Because do you know how powerful stories can be? I shared the story of a letter that a woman wrote to her pediatrician. And it was a pediatrician who had diagnosed her daughter with Down syndrome. And this pediatrician told her mum, the mother, my friend, that her daughter would never walk. She would never talk clearly. She would be stunted in all her growth. And this just is an incredible, incredible little girl. And this mother wrote a letter from the heart to this pediatrician. And I read it and went, that's incredible. It needs to go further. So I give it a little bit of an edit, write a little bit on top, and I just shared it as is, this beautiful, beautiful raw story she'd written on her Facebook profile. And that story got over 100,000 people reading it. And it was seen in my newsfeed. It got shared 25,000 times off my page. It got, 50,000, 100,000 likes. So many people related to that story. They didn't have children with Down syndrome. They just related to that mum. And they might have had a run-in with the GP themselves at some other time. But when you can share your own story honestly and authentically, or talk to someone and tell their story for them, it actually relates to a whole big group of people. It's not just your avatar that'll resonate with. Don't worry, you're not only going to attract 34-year-old mums with 2 kids who live in bushland or on the beach who used to bring cupcakes to work. You will attract an entire tribe, I promise. It's how this works. So let's talk about the not being obnoxious and salesy. And thank you, Kat, for sharing honestly without a pitch. Oh, of course. Well, Nicole's done my course and she absolutely loves it. So I'm just sharing the opportunity, and I was super happy for Nicole to have me come on and share more with you about my course, because it's called Social Media and Sales with Soul, because that's what it is. that's how it works. I built this course out with Jessie Reimers, who is one of my closest friends. She earns over $1 million a year between her network marketing, her programs, her products, everything else she does. She's an incredible woman, and she brought a lot of the sales to the table because, as you know, I'm all about the attraction and the marketing, but there's so much incredible stuff about the sales and how to close and just really practical stuff. But for the soul part, and, you know, when it comes time to sell, when you use this attraction marketing, they're going to understand the value already. So you're actually not selling, you're just helping them buy it. How good's that? Isn't it nicer to help someone buy your product than have to sell it to them? I can tell you it is, because when they're asking me, like, how do I log in and get it? I'm like, well, let me help you with, I'm not making this up. You will be helping them log in to buy the product. And that will be the hardest thing you've done in that process, because every time they speak to you, you're not dropping in their inbox going, hi, hey, how's it going? How's the kids? Doing well today? Because do you know what? We've all been there and tried that, and it's not a good way to make friends. But when you're like, hey, lovely, I saw that post you did earlier. Here's a blog I wrote earlier in the year, and it's about that exact thing, so I thought I'd share it with you. Or, hey, lovely, I'm actually doing a live stream about that exact topic in my group on Friday. Quickly go and plan a live stream on that topic.
There's a hot tip.
There's a hot tip. I'm doing a live stream on that exact product. Can I put you in my group and tag you when it goes live? Yeah, sure, of course you can. Amazing. Next minute, I hate being sold to, but I love to buy stuff I want. There you go. We are all exactly the same, and we're so resistant to sales that when we can flip that around and start looking at them as though they will love it once we can approach them with it in the right way, it just makes it easier, knowing that we don't need to do it now. It might be 7 touch points down there, and it might be 10, and that's okay, but we'll just be nurturing them, waiting for them to hit that pain point, and then we'll catch them near it, or they'll approach us. So now what we want to do is a little bit of value mapping. So the last thing that we're going to do is really line up your value system with your avatar's value system, right? So I know my avatar. She's 30, 33, 34. She lives in regional country, Victoria. I don't know why they're all in Melbourne, probably the population density. Find your value system, line it up next to your prospect's value system, and see where you have a match, right? So it doesn't have to be the avatar you just made up. Think about the last person that you sold a product to or enrolled or thought about it, or even just thought about offering it to because you knew it would help them. You knew it would help them. Line them up and see what you have in common, because what you want to do is really shine a light on that and emphasize it, because this is where you're similar to that person and you share similar values, because you're magnetically drawn to people who are just like you. So when you start identifying what you love in others and what you love about your ideal client, what really resonates, what will happen is you'll start, when you think about that and write a few things down, like I love that my ideal client is like just a fierce tiger that stands up for her kids and she advocates for them in the medical system when needed. She's super passionate about natural alternatives to products. She hates, you know, that she hates using chemicals in the home and hates being around them, but she also understands because that's what she used to do because she thought it was the right thing to do for her family. So when I talk about that, I'm going to attract more of that into my life because they're my values and they match her values. So when you do a brainstorm and you think about, you know, what do I want my ideal avatar to have? Funnily enough, they're always the things you hold the most dear. So that is pretty much the perfect thing. Think about what they're against. What do they hate? They hate it when doctors are wrong. They hate it when they have to go to hospital and waste their own time. I've got 2 people on my team who spend way too much time in the medical system through no fault of their own, and I get annoyed for them, right? And that happens to me too. I've got a child with a disability. I used to always be in and out of hospital, so I can totally relate. So I am not averse to ripping down the medical system here and there in a live stream. That's all I'm saying. I may have tagged a few medical professionals before and called out a few board members over rebates and Medicare bills and all kinds of things. That's okay. That's my enemy. They're fine. unless I run for Prime Minister, then this video might come back up to haunt me. What you need to know, and I'm going to close it out with this, if you try to please everyone, you please no one. You just become forgettable. So take a hardline stance in what you believe in, have the community behind you to back that up, and know what you're going to do. Like, you're going to block, you're going to delete if somebody is going to kick off about it, because it's okay for people to not think like you or be exactly like you. Because the more you try to please everyone, you water that message down, and it becomes less and less powerful. It is helpful to note that when we align values, it doesn't necessarily mean that all of our values will align, just like in a marriage. That is absolutely correct, 100% correct, which is why you just focus on those core values. And how do I figure out my avatar? You make it up. And then you refine it, and you might come up with another one. I've had countless avatars. Now I've settled because I know what I attract, and I can actually think about it and really clearly, and I can kind of manifest that in. But it can be a process. Some people will just do it straight off the bat, and other people will take a little bit longer. But I'm pretty sure you wrote a banging avatar up there already, so you stick to that one. So the thing is that when you can match your value system with theirs, they'll be so excited, they'll be so attractive and receptive to your messages and your content that when it's time to ask for the sell, they're actually excited or ready to buy from you, because they know that it's going to benefit their lives, because they know so much about you and they see every way that your values overlap. There's a reason why a lot of the people who enroll with me are special needs parents. The first reason is because I've got a lot of Facebook friends who are special needs parents. I run the local playgroup, which I started because there wasn't one. So I didn't, get put in that role. It's just something I did, and I built up a little community. So a lot of parents in playgroup have bought my product. Another reason is because they are attracted into all the content that I produce, that I write, that I advocate for this, and I talk about that, and I talk about things that other people don't. And I've been deleted, and I've been blocked, and I've been told to stop trying to get famous from writing about stuff I'm passionate about. Where would you hear that, Nicole? That's not Australia. Stop trying to get famous by standing up for what you believe. Well, I'm a blogger, so if my post gets me 10,000 new fans, I'm all for it. Like, you just have to know that people are going to be triggered no matter what you do. I've built an incredible platform. In fact, I've built one for my little boy. He's got over 24,000 Facebook followers. And I've got accused of trying to make him famous. And as far as I'm concerned, it's a wonderful thing. And it's given him so many opportunities. And that person got a nice big block and delete. And I let it go.
That's what I said. Block and, you will get people that don't like you, but just block and delete. That's the beautiful thing about social media. You can block them so they can never find you again. It's awesome.
Exactly right. Exactly right. So now I'm going to give you some super, super, super practical help on how you can start leveraging all this stuff that you're already doing. You're already doing it offline. You're already doing it online in a fair amount of places. You're sharing content and creating all this amazing stuff. And Marie said, I feel like I'm already doing most of this. So what about the Facebook algorithms? How do we be sure to conquer this? Should we be doing blogging? How does this all link with the Facebook algorithm? And catch you later, Kelly. So basically what happens is you need to stay on topic when you're posting. You need to show up really consistently, however that looks. So once you've done the prep work and you've outlined your avatar and you know the sort of content and topics you want to write about and you're quite consistent with those few things, just stick to those, and you can switch them out slowly over time. For example, you might share a lot of shots of the beach near your home or like scenic stuff. Keep sharing them. Don't feel like you need to stop, because new people are always seeing those. So this is something I learned when I spent half a day at Facebook headquarters in Sydney. People flock to broadcast content. If there's a choice between something new that looks exciting and something that is okay, but they've seen it a lot before, they're going to come to the one that's okay because they know what they're getting. They want to consume content they've already seen and they already like. And that's how you start shifting that algorithm in your favor, because you're going to be appearing in the news feeds of people who have already seen you. So repurpose the same content over and over. So for example, if you write a long form Facebook post and it gets lots of action, turn it into a blog post, boost the blog post. Share the blog post, share it in groups, share it around a few places. I just believe what Dr. John DeMartini says. Love him. I see him first on Facebook. I love him that much. If I have as many people hammering me as praising me, I'm doing what I need to do. Awesome. That's pretty cool. I definitely don't get that many people hammering me, but it's awesome.
You block and delete. Block and delete.
Well, that's why I don't get a lot hammer me. This is the other beautiful thing about managing your community appropriately. When you're blocking and deleting very quickly, you're not scared of showing up. And you're not appearing in the newsfeed of people who don't like you, because Facebook optimizes it to only show in about 3% of people's news feeds. People aren't going to like your page unless they like your content. And if you're blocking and deleting people who do the passive, icky blur, they're not going to be coming back, and you're not going to have that apprehension about showing up, because if you do it fast, they just, you can just let it go and shake it off and show up again. So let's give you an example of you're talking about something, you know, that you do in your home, and it's this little life hack, and you want to share it more places because it's super cool, and you write a Facebook post, it gets like 100 likes, right? And you don't normally get that many. Or if you've got a bigger page, you might get 1,000 likes. You're like, awesome. Now, what I would do with that, if that were me, and this is what I teach in my course, I would create a tutorial video on how to do it. And then I would write a blog post and attach it to my video, because my video would start getting lots of views. And I know it's good content because it doesn't matter how big my audience. You only need 1,000 true fans to generate a 6-figure income online, right? So if that post is getting lots of traction and I create a video post of the same thing, it's going to get a lot of traction because it's the concept and the idea that people are watching. So then you can boost that and more people will see it, right? And then you're going to have a whole lot of views on a video that you can retarget with, say, a blog post to get them on your blog. Or you could retarget them with an ad to come and see more of your content and just keep them in that loop and keep them in touch points. Or if ads aren't your thing, you can learn how to really basically jump on your best performing content, repurpose it into a video, get interviewed about it, you know, submit online. There is almost nothing that if you're an expert in your teeny tiny little niche, and I'm talking about, I know people who've been republished online for how they have a hack for like organizing a cutlery drawer. I've got a friend who actually I met when she attended one of my social media workshops, who has been in every single mainstream. She's been on Today Tonight. She's been in every single mainstream TV show you can think of talking about organizing, because that's her blog. That's what she does, right? So don't think your niche is tiny and irrelevant, because a lot of people need help organizing spoons. They just do. And they love it, and they learn from her, and they want more information. They're like, show me your other drawers. Show me your bread holder, whatever it is. They love it.
Everyone has a fan club waiting to find them out there.
Yes, you just need to unleash your skills on the world. Everything they see from you in the process matters. So jump on Facebook stories or Instagram stories, if that's what you use, and show them a bit of the behind the scenes. Show them you filming your webinar or prepping or having a preliminary chat, or literally just tell them what you're doing, just prepping for my webinar. People like that stuff. They want to see it. You can create a PDF with a guide to this tiny little hack that you love to do that's so popular. It all builds authority. It all builds trust and goodwill. It supports your bigger idea or thing, and it pre-sells for you without actually selling. So when you're showing up and adding that much value, there's no secret to the sale. You just ask for it. So when you can just do that with whatever scripts you want and however it happens, that's all you do. So that's all I wanted to share with you guys. It's got very little to do with tech stuff, and it's all about the algorithms. But I'll hand back over to Nicole, and she can talk a little bit about what she learned on the course, and she should have a link to share with you if it's something you're interested in.
Yeah, so I got to work a little bit in depth with Kat. I got to do her course. So she has an online course, which you can do. It goes for like 6 weeks, right, Kat? And it goes through step by step how to do all this stuff. So like I love all of this stuff, but I get a bit overwhelmed by the techie stuff, and, you know, like how to create a blog and then repurpose the content and how to get republished. And Kat teaches you how to do all of that, and like how to do the Facebook ads and how to retarget them.
True.
all of that stuff, so that you can really get the most out of this. Like, so you can be creating this content, but that you can actually like make it go round and round and round and actually get more people to see it, which is awesome. So yeah, I highly recommend it. If online is something that's calling to you to help grow your business, I think it's great to have an expert like Kat to guide you. You know, it's something I am definitely still learning about. Like, I'm not an expert in it. And that is why, you know, I've like found Kat and introduced Kat to all of you so that you can work with this. We've got a question there. How often Kat's course is offered? It's just once a year, right, Kat, that you run it live?
Yeah, so once the doors close. Also, it's actually on early bird right now, so you'll save $333 off the full price of the course. Nicole, I'm not sure if you've got a link that you can drop into comments in YouTube. That would be super handy for anyone who's looking to buy the course, because what I'd really like to offer is, I know this is something I can't do for everyone, but I'd really like for anybody who buys the course tonight, just to put all your names in a hat and just draw out one of the names and just do a one-to-one strategy session with you to just give you a real kickstart on showing up and talk you through all this stuff to get you prepped for the course launch, which is on the 16th of July. So on early bird, the course is $555, which means you save a super awesome $333 off. The early bird's only on for another few days at the moment. So Nicole's just put the link in comments. If you're watching this video and early bird has closed, that's fine. You can click the same link. It will be full price at $888, but just know the cost of the course goes up every year because the value of the course goes up. So as example, the Facebook ads module in there has actually been created by the ex-chief operating officer of the largest Facebook ad agency in Europe, who I am very blessed to co-own my marketing agency with. So it's actually a $2,000 Facebook ads course. He's agreed to roll it all and refilm it into our social media course to make sure it's as high value as possible. So Nicole, if you could pass me a list of just everyone's names that bought the course after the webinar, that would be amazing, and I can just choose one of them out at random and in contact for a strategy session. So I'd love to do that just to the guys that have showed up live. And thank you so much for coming.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, and you know, I just think this is an area that you can really enhance things with, and it's great for like you know, busy mums and things like that. Those of us that like we don't want to be on the road as much. Like, this industry can see you on the road a lot as you reach the kind of higher levels, but when you have a young family and things like that, like, you don't want to be on the road all the time. You want to be able to spend more time actually like living the location independent freedom lifestyle, and for me that is living in my beautiful island home as much as I possibly can. So yeah, so I think that it's really powerful to be able to do this. And you know, the early bird's great value. And the other thing I love about your course, Kat, is it's lifetime access, right? So I did it last year and I get to do it again.
Yes, exactly right. And you didn't even have to pay as much as it is this year, and it will go up next year. That's how these online courses work. And this is how Jessie and I are able to roll the cost up every year and offer lifetime access by we need to put the price up annually, but it means that you'll be able to do it this year, you'll be able to do it next year, and every year moving forward as the value and the amount of content in the course grows, and it's always updated and relevant. So we had a few people that couldn't go through the entire course last year. They had a holiday or other things went on, so they will be coming through. Super excited that they're going to be completing the full course, even though they've already picked it apart over the last 12 months. So yeah, I can't be more pumped, and I'm so glad you're coming back on board for the 6 weeks as well, and you're going to be coming through again as a student. So I can't wait to see some of your guys come through with you.
Yeah.
Thanks so much for having me.
Yeah, thank you so much, Kat, for your time on a Monday night.
Anytime. We'd love to come back anytime.
Okay.
But if you just comments, it'll let you know the other info on it.
Yeah, I'll put the link in there in the comments, and I will email the link out to everyone as well. So if you want the link, we'll send you out an email shortly with that in there as well.
Super cool. All right, see you later, guys.
Bye.
Bye.